Oh boy, did you see that trailer? Oh man, it's been days and my heart is still racing. We've been waiting 2 years since the game's reveal, and it's been a really long 2 years. But Nintendo has finally given us a gameplay demo and a glorious new trailer. Now, I'm not going to analyze every tiny detail because there are plenty of people doing that, and I'm also not going to talk about the live streams because I didn't watch them because spoilers, but I'm going to talk about the concepts that really caught my attention in the trailer. Oh boy, but if you don't mind though, I'm just going to lie down while I talk. Everybody watching the trailer is going to notice one thing first.
Open your eyes.
Yep, voice acting. This was an amazing way to start the trailer because it communicated right off the bat how different this Zelda's gonna be. We still don't know just how much will be in it, and maybe it'll be reserved for cutscenes or certain characters or something, but the simple fact that it's a Zelda game and we're hearing actual, human words is just nuts. It really says something about Aonuma's mindset. But once the trailer really starts and we see gameplay, it's immediately obvious that this Zelda really is different. Like, not just sprinting and item upgrades different, but the entire system reimagined and rebuilt different. The combat feels different, the movement feels different. You can jump for Pete's sake! Not since Zelda 2 or maybe the jump from 2D to 3D has a Zelda game felt so fundamentally different from the ones that came before it. It's a little terrifying, but it's also thrilling. For this reason, the trailer intrigued me more than any other trailer for a Zelda game ever has. And in addition to the new gameplay, it's obvious that there's just so much stuff to do. Link's hunting, he's cooking, he's climbing, he's chopping, he's taming horses. Nintendo has already given us an idea of how gigantic the world is, but this trailer finally shows us what we might be doing when we're in it. It promises a ton of variety, which is really important to do when you're also advertising your game as being really massive. Now, this next thing really struck me in the reveal trailer, but it was reinforced here. This game has a sort of ancient yet futuristic magical technology sort of thing going for it. It's a concept that was touched on in Twilight Princess and used quite a bit in Skyward Sword, but the fact that it's featured so heavily not just in another realm or in the distant past, but in Hyrule itself makes me ridiculously curious about the story and where the game sits on the timeline. It gives the world a real sense of magic and mystery. I only watched the first few seconds of the gameplay stream because, again, spoilers, but the weird sci-fi stuff is just so darn cool. Oh, goodness. The next thing I took away from the trailer was a little less positive, though nothing to worry too much about. It seemed to have an unusual lack of polish. The world looks nice, but I feel like it just doesn't have the same level of sheen and perfection that Zelda games usually have. There's not a lot of detail, and most obvious are the stiff, awkward animations. I know there's still time before the game comes out, and the early trailers for other Zelda games don't always look so hot either. Then of course there's the fact that the world is so big they probably just can't give it as much polish as it might need, and that's not even a deal breaker or anything. It's just something I noticed is all. It was a little surprising seeing as the game might release Q1 of next year. But the biggest thing that caught my attention in the trailer wasn't the graphics or the controls or the open world, but the feel of the game. Sure, there are monsters and there's plenty of action, but overall the trailer conveys this serenity. A Zelda trailer is usually epic and exciting with a grand score backing it. But this one was just so chill and understated. It elicits such a sense of wonder. It just feels magical. And in addition to the serene tone, the game also just feels... how do I put this? Less Japanese? Something about the aesthetic makes it feel like a non-Nintendo indie game. The soft colors, the focus on nature, even the flat white logo. It all feels like something out of Sweden, you know what I mean? Then of course there's the resource gathering and crafting and cooking and all that, which has been really prominent in games recently. It feels like a Zelda game, but at the same time it doesn't feel like a Zelda game. It feels like they let a Western studio have a go at the franchise, and I must say that it makes me that much more excited to see what it has in store. Overall, there was a ton of stuff to take away from the Breath of the Wild trailer, but if one thing's obvious, it's that this is going to be a Zelda unlike any other. Nintendo is really going for something different here, and something big. 2017 feels like it's a long way away, but I'm sure that the wait will be okay. I'm sorry, but I've just gotta lie down again. Whew. I'll catch you later, everybody.